Hey everyone, it is Liz, and I am back to do another political reading. And so I decided I would take a look at Marjorie Taylor Green because she has been recently reprimanded today by Kevin McCarthy, who took his sweet time actually speaking out against her after she made the offensive comments comparing mask wearing to the Holocaust, which was, as a Jewish woman, I find to be incredibly offensive, stupid, um, arrogant, frightening. I mean, she represents in Georgia the 14th district, okay? And that district, when I looked it up, is the majority of them are white, the majority of them are blue collar, and she is considered a right-wing conspiracy theorist. In fact, the notes I took on her, where are they? I took a few notes on her. It wasn't anything impressive, but for me, I'm not a fan of hers. But yes, she is an unhinged woman. Her life path number, numerically speaking, like Ted Cruz and like Josh Hawley, by the way, is a 55-1. These are people who are desperate for attention when it comes to politics. They're very how do I put this? They don't walk their talk when it comes to the BS they spew. She claims to be maybe a religious person, someone that believes in the Bible and believes in being a good Christian or a good Catholic. But she is someone who, with this life path number, she is someone that is most likely will the way I wrote this down was her erratic actions will create far more contrast. Far more chaos and conflict, and we will witness. It's almost like we're going to witness her deterioration or the deterioration of her mind, because of all of the stuff that she is spewing. It's going to go from bad to worse. I think that right now she does have an awful lot of power, unfortunately, and she seems to be in her personal year number. Her birthday is coming up in a couple of days, actually. Her birthday is May 27th. She's a Gemini. And so her personal year number, she's coming into a 37-1. So this is all about her wanting to be independent, wanting to do her own thing, wanting to share her gifts with the world. But when I look at her, just numerically speaking, I'm looking at a woman here who wants to dispense, her justice her way. And the thing is, she's certainly not a stable person. That we're not dealing with a woman who is at all grounded in any sense of reality. Okay, so I pulled a few cards on her, and I used my Sibylla and Dovina deck here. And so what I was looking at basically was, what is up with Marjorie Taylor Green? What's going to happen to her? Will she continue this, and will she be reelected? Because my concern is what's going to happen in 2022 when she runs again, right? So I'm looking at, let's see here. Those were just some of the notes I took there. Looking at her recent past, we're looking at the first few cards I pulled. And we're just going to go in the order that I pulled them. The first card is that of inconstancy. And if you look at the card, inconstancy itself is, I think it speaks for itself when you just look at the picture. Inconstancy is instability. It's a feeling of insecurity and indecisiveness. She is kind of in a place in her life in the recent past where she's worried about her job, and I just feel like the actions that she's taken recently, especially with the next card. I mean, I'm looking at the next couple of cards. We've got the card of, okay, so we've got inconsistency, again, which is insecurity, self-doubt. We have this card of tenderness, which is, in her mind, she's coming from a place of mothering and caring and trying to make sure that everybody's okay, right? This is her mode of thinking with the tenderness card, that I just want to take care of all of you, and then you have, what's interesting here is you have the card of loss of money. And, in her recent past, this can also be that someone is hiding a secret. I mean, if you look at the picture when it's upright, there's something hidden there. But if it's reversed, it's like something's being hidden, deliberately. So I also feel like with her, there could be, because of whatever, the things that she's been doing, the things that she's been saying, she really should be wary of. And I think with Kevin McCarthy speaking up, that might have been a little bit of something for her to be wary of. Because moving into her current state of mind, she does show up, interestingly enough, as the blonde woman. And the blonde woman is like this master manipulator, right? She comes across as looking so sweet and kind and all of that. But this is someone who deliberately lies and cheats. This is someone who is like something that we didn't see her coming. I think a lot of us should have. But she is someone who has been successful spewing the Trump lies, spewing all of the BS that she's spewing. And my feeling here with her is that there will be some things that come back to bite her in the butt, especially with the blonde woman, because you have the card of the other two cards that I pulled here. Oops, excuse me, guys, while I drop a card here. I'll just put my notes over here for now. If I need them, I will go to them. So the next card I pulled for Marjorie Taylor Green, clarifying the blonde-haired woman. We have the sweet card reversed, and actually it's the card of victory reversed, and I believe the sweet card was upright. So with victory reversed, the reverse. This is victory. We know that victory, when it's upright, is succeeding. It's overcoming adversity. It's getting what you want. It's feeling like you've won something, or that you've achieved your goal. When it's reversed, it's a different kind of vibe. This is arguments. This is arguing with colleagues. In my mind, she's probably fighting with friends. I believe that she thinks that there are people that are jealous of her. I think that, when she was, if you recall, a few weeks ago, she was confronting AOC and chasing her down and being a bully. And it was just mind-blowing to see this in my lifetime, in our lifetime. It's just clearly, it's messy and it's unsophisticated. It doesn't make any sense to me. But she really does believe that people are envious of her. And then the card of the sweet card is that, I think she's believing that everything that she's saying, everything that she's doing, she's going to receive, the rewards that she was promised. And we know that Trump doesn't follow up with any of those things. He's not... he's in his own trouble. I've done readings on Trump, and recently I don't think his future looks that bright, and even if, it's sad because people still admire Hitler. So there will always be people that admire Trump. And Marjorie Taylor Green is going to, unfortunately, suffer the consequences of all of her words and all of her actions. And moving into her immediate future, I'm looking at probably the next, it could be the next few months, we're looking at. But I just feel like with the card showing up here of the surprise card is in her immediate future. So there's a breakthrough here with the surprise card. But the breakthrough is in the house, because we've got the city house and the thief. So I'm just looking at these for a second together. I mean, this is the card of surprise. So, in her immediate future, she's probably, it could even be that she wasn't expecting McCarthy to, I guess, reprimand her in public, and what he said on the news regarding what she was doing and what she said about the mask wearing and comparing it to the Holocaust. He thought, I don't remember his exact words, but he was, it felt to me like he was genuinely offended by what she said. And with the card of, we have the city house, and the city house is also a vibration of, she feels that in her immediate future, she should be feeling secure where she works, at her office at home, her office in Georgia, her office in White House, I'm sorry, in Washington. This is a woman who feels like her butt is covered because it's been covered since the insurrection. And I mean, she's been taken off all committees, and yet she's just doing all of these things. And so here's the surprise card. I feel like the surprise is coming from the house. And that surprise seems to be with the thief card is this feeling of, it's like this anxiety and this stress. It's there are people that are talking behind her back. There are people in her party, in her circle, the Republican circle, who may have more power than her. And they're wondering, she's gotten away with an awful lot right in front of us. How much more are we going to allow her to get away with? Because they're even seeing like she's crossing a line. Not all of them, but if Kevin McCarthy can finally step up and say something, as I look at her immediate future, I do feel like there's trouble coming in for her, trouble in the house. Okay. And it's not, she might think it's a good thing, a pleasant surprise, but whatever's coming her way, it certainly isn't pleasant for her. In fact, her current state of mind in the future, the way that she's seeing things in the future, how she's feeling. The first card I pulled, ironically, was that of infantilism. This is the infant. This is that immature behavior, the child who sulks. Poor me. I didn't do anything wrong. Or, this is this someone who feels that their happiness is being lost, that they are unable to get what they want. They're losing their opportunities. Clarifying the card, we've got the card of reunion or reconciliation, and this card of, it's reversed, excuse me guys, pleasant pastimes. So when I'm looking at these together, one is reversed, one isn't. I think that she's going to try with the card of reconciliation to try to reach out and try to come to some agreement with her, with the powers that be in her party. She may be, I feel like she's very fake with them, or she kisses their butts, because I'm looking at, excuse me guys, I'm looking at the card of pleasantries and pastimes, and that's bad news for her. This is a vibration of things aren't going her way. So when pastimes and pleasantries are upright, things are going well. Things are going the way that they want them to go. There is a lot going on at once. But people are working together. When it is reversed, people don't want to work with her. People don't want to deal with this BS anymore. And so it's a vibration of being canceled or something being delayed. So I think she's worried. I think in her mind in the next few weeks or so, you may notice that I think she's going to keep doing her thing and coming on and saying things. And even though McCarthy has spoken up, it doesn't stop her right away. I think what stops her is the bad news that's coming in. Whatever this bad news is, they're going to look at her and they're going to confront her and say to her, this can't continue. This has to stop. Because moving into her environment in the future, as far as how she's affecting her environment and vice versa, I've got this card of the important revelation. This is an important decision. And, in her environment, I kind of feel like if you look at the picture, there are two people sitting together, one in a desk, one signing papers, there are people discussing something very important here, so when you dive deeper, it's the Four of Diamonds in the playing cards. And in general, this is a card of something being revealed through people discussing very private, personal situations. There are literally secrets that are being revealed in meetings, I see. And it's all about her work, because we've got the card reversed again, another card reversed of thought. And, thought is, in general, it is knowledge, right? It is analyzing a situation and knowing what to do. When it is reversed, this is the card of thought reversed. When it is reversed, it's like a narrow-minded type of person. This is someone who is, how do I put this? I mean, they just don't, they have tunnel vision, so she doesn't think the way that we think. She doesn't see or process reality the way we process reality. Remember, this is a right-wing conspiracy theorist, and I think she advertised herself as that when she was running, and again, with this vibration of thought reversed, people are beginning to see her as someone who is creating more fear than anything else, and her colleagues aren't liking it, and I see that because of the card of the other card clarifying it, which is the country house. And I almost want to say, because it's the two of hearts. Here you go. There's the two of hearts, if you can see it. And the country house is usually, when it comes up in a reading, it's taking time off. Too much is happening. Too much is going on. So my feeling here with the time off vibration of the country house and looking at the country house and all of these cards together, I would not be surprised if the powers that be around Marjorie Taylor Green tell her to tone it down, pull back, stop talking, stop going on shows, just stop. They may demand it. Okay, because moving into this is the advice from the reading, advice from spirit. So we have let me just get these cards together. It's interesting when I look at all of them together. The first card is the consultant, which comes up an awful lot for these GOPs, these Republicans. And, this is a hopeful vibration in this deck of my Sibylla. The consulting card is someone who is waiting for some advice. They're hoping that things will get better. Looking at the next card, which is that of waiting, she's waiting. It's almost like, and then you have the angry woman. To me, the advice from spirit is that she needs to sit back with the card of the consultant and listen to it. Listen to the advice that the powers that be are giving her. Listen to it. Pay attention. Keep your mouth shut. She won't do that because I'm looking at the other vibrations here, and I'm looking at a woman who is tired of waiting. She's not going to wait much longer. They're going to tell her to sit and wait and sit still and shut up and keep your mouth shut. All of these things are going to be said to her, and she turns out with the last card from Spirit, it's the angry woman. This is someone who is out of control, angry, spewing hurtful words, having a hissy fit. Look at that. So, again, I believe that the advice from the reading here is that she needs to back off, take some time off. I would not be surprised if, whoever is in charge of her, Kevin McCarthy, whoever else is in charge of her, will tell her, back off, take some time off. Stop doing what you're doing, because the outcome for her, I don't believe this woman will be reelected, because the outcome, the last card was that of a lot of money reverse, which is literally disposable, declining income. She doesn't have the money. She won't receive the support that she received before. Okay, her actions have consequences. Her words have consequences. And you've got that of the a lot of money card reverse, which is unfortunately losing money. This is not a good thing. It's money. It's not money. It's money that she doesn't have. It's not getting the donations that she needs. The next card is that of the visit, but it's reversed. And when it's reversed, it has a different vibe to it. Upright, the visit is pleasant. It's usually like a pleasant surprise, or, going along with looking at if she'll get reelected. Things are heating up in a positive way, meeting up with friends, networking and meeting with constituents, all that good stuff. But what she's doing is noticing that people are talking behind her back, people are angry with her, people are frustrated with her, people are talking, she's not receiving. So I'm kind of predicting here that she's going to be pulled back. Slowly, they're going to pull her back, okay? And I am predicting that she's not going to win the next election. I don't believe she'll win in 2022, because the last card is the card of the flatterer. The flatterer is like that false, when you want to, maybe you're trying to kiss up to somebody, or someone's kissing up to you and just giving you a compliment to see what they can get from you. It's that manipulating type of kissing someone's ass, and it's not for any good reason. You're just trying to get noticed. For her, as far as running, being reelected into the 14th, to represent the 14th district of Georgia. This card is saying that there are lots of doubts here. There's a breakup, that people are breaking up with her. They see her as having ulterior motives. So I kind of get this impression that she's not going to tone down her stuff, and that she will be warned. She will be asked to pull back. The very last card I pulled for her regarding what happens to her is that of the quarrel card: conflict, fighting, arguments. This is a very unhealthy competition. So I do feel like she's going to play dirty. I think that she's going to play very, very dirty. Okay. And just because they told me to pull another card here, what the heck? You've got the last card of absence. And this is regretting what she's done. So I don't believe, as of right now, energy is fluid, energy can change. But the way that I'm seeing this reading is that for now, I don't see her doing well. I feel like she's a bully. I believe I see her as someone who is, she feels that people are jealous of her. Her ego I think she's working too much with her ego, and her conspiracy theories. It's going to create more chaos. And I see her becoming more unglued, unreasonable, and saying more offensive things where people in charge of her are going to have to pull her back. Whether she's let go or not, I don't think that's going to happen, but I don't believe she's going to be reelected. I believe they're going to ask her to sit down or to shut up. I really do. I think they're going to ask her to just keep your mouth shut. Okay? And if you want to get reelected, these are the things you have to do. But she's not listening. There's just nothing here. When I'm looking at her in the future, I'm looking at a woman here who's just so angry and just so unglued and unable to think clearly about anything. And she's so impatient. And, the advice from Spirit is to be patient, to think about what you're speaking. Think before you speak. And this is not all about you. That's kind of the gist of the reading here. So I don't believe she will be reelected. So I'm going to stop the reading here. I hope this was an enjoyable reading. I hope it was informative. Please leave feedback. Let me know what you thought. If you have any political questions, feel free to message me or email me directly. I really appreciate the emails I've been getting, and I do answer them because I'm not getting a ton, but I do appreciate the emails, and I do appreciate all of your messages and all of your feedback. So if you could share my channel with your friends. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do. Once I get to 1,800 subscribers, I will randomly choose 2 subscribers to receive a 15-minute reading with me by phone. If you want to book a reading with me, my Square appointment app, I will put it in the link. And I will see you guys soon. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and blessings to all. Bye.